Yeah. All right, this is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started 1 West 125th Street under Commanding General YAHANNA. We're not affiliated with any other Hebrew Israelite school.
That's right.
All right. So, of course, is the Brotherhood class. And you know what I'm saying? We're gonna go into Brotherhood scriptures, We're gonna teach our people what Brotherhood is really all about. You know what I'm saying? Brotherhood is about treating your brothers and sisters respectfully, man. It's about caring for one another. You know what I'm saying? Loving for one another. It's to be honest, this is one of the most important classes, man. Without brotherhood, you know what I'm saying, this whole thing as a nation, you need brotherhood. Otherwise it's not going to our nation's not going to stay strong. You know what I'm saying? You can't have a nation without brotherhood. Brotherhood is a necessary. All right. So, and of course, the greatest brother of them all was Christ and the Lord. You know what I'm saying? Christ died for us. You know what I'm saying? Like how the scripture says, you know what I'm saying? The greatest love you can do for, a brother is die for him. You know what I'm saying? That's how you can show, the greatest amount of love for one another you can do. I mean, that's the greatest action that you could possibly make. Go ahead.
Slakia, if I may. What's so crazy about brotherhood is that we don't even realize how much it has been watered down today and how much we really need it. General Muhammad just had a class about snitching and why, if I'm your brother, if we real close, we friends, why would I put heavier burden on you just in hopes, not guaranteed, but in hopes that I get a lesser punishment than the rest of my people? That's not brotherhood. That's not what we do around here. And it's more examples on how brotherhood has been watered. I know you are married to a sister and I sleep with her. That's not brotherhood.
Right.
And although we love hip hop, one of the biggest things in hip hop is sleeping with somebody else's woman. And that's not brotherhood. It's a bragging thing too. Like, man, I've been with your woman. It's not cool. We are more hell bent on being each other's rivals than each other brothers, and that's why it's hard to unify and progress in this slavery and in this hell. And the scriptures say the kingdom of heaven is within you. So with that in mind, think right now is the kingdom of heaven. Do you think the ideal thing in heaven is to sleep with your brother's wife? To put a heavier burden on your brother with punishment or anything? Mistreat? Why? You know why brotherhood is important? Because why would you want to be loyal and help uplift anything that doesn't uplift you?
Right.
Or your community? So if everybody shows brotherhood to everybody, we can inherit the kingdom of heaven because we are the kingdom of heaven. But we have to perfect the laws in order for it to be visible.
And Salaki, I mean, like what you said, like if we do brotherhood, we can get the kingdom of heaven. I mean, that's what the kingdom is all about, doing for one another. I'm saying, really, when you start a business, you're doing for the people. When you start a business, you're in the business in the sense of service. You're doing you're what am I trying to say? Like, you're trying to create more service to the people, because the more service you provide, the more you get back.
So like you provided a need for your community.
Right. So you're providing a need for your community. And in doing so, you build for that. You build for your community. You build for your nation. You know what I'm saying? And that's part of brotherhood. Part of brotherhood is, you know what I'm saying, providing jobs for your own people. You know what I'm saying? That's part of brotherhood. You know, if you take a look, you know what I'm saying, how it is in the world, there really aren't too many Black businesses.
Right.
There aren't a whole lot. You know what I'm saying? You know, really the mom and pop stores, you know what I'm saying, they were really, you know what I'm saying, really helped a brother out, especially when a brother, you know what I'm saying, got out of, or, you know, trying to get out of a tough situation or something. Go ahead.
This is like, I read something on the internet where it was two of the youngest girls to start a beauty shop, a beauty supply shop. And they went out of business because they couldn't meet the supply demand or whatever. When they went to Koreans who are not our kinfolk according to the flesh, they got rejected because they didn't want to do for them. But imagine if we didn't have to go to them. Imagine if we just went to more Black people. And, you know, if all our stuff, and it can be done, we just don't remain disciplined to do so. If we ran all our stuff through Black only communities and we supported Black only businesses, we can thrive. We showed it because we given our money to our oppressors time and time over again.
Right.
Nike, the Hollywood, KFC. You know, I still can't live that down. 25 mil to a chicken sandwich. It really only take 1 meal to build a nice, fresh, refreshing school. So 25 mil, that's 25 schools that Blacks and Hispanics could have appreciated with some new textbooks, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? We have buying power. We know all the trades. We do. We know how to fix vehicles.
Right.
Be it diesel mechanics or regular mechanics, we know how to fix vehicles. We know how to maintain and keep a building clean. We know how to sell things. We use our selling capabilities mostly for wicked stuff. But imagine if we took that away from drugs and guns and put that into hair products and food and clothes. If we put that much effort, that much smart business, that much protection into stuff that would do the community good. You know what I'm saying?
That's a lot, kid. Like, not only that, like, and we know how to build a nation. You know what I'm saying? Like, these are our records. You know, this book has all the wisdom needed for us to build a strong nation, like becoming separate from other nations. I mean, that's like step one. You know what I'm saying? That's a basic fundamental in building a nation. You first got to be separate from all other nations to build your own stuff. I mean, it just makes sense. Go ahead.
Like one of the guilty things, the one thing that an unlearned person is feeling guilty about from separation is they think they're mocking their oppressors. First of all, our cause is different. When they did segregation, it was purely off of hate. Our segregation is purely off of surviving and being self-efficient.
Right.
This ain't got nothing to do with not, well, I mean, we don't like them bastards, but I mean, it's not focused behind that. It's focused behind thriving.
Right.
Trying to survive with just us, with our family. You know, you ain't going to another household hoping that they help you with your bills. No, you're dependent on everybody in the house with you to make things connect and work out. So you shouldn't feel guilty for wanting to love yourself a little bit more, because that's really what this is: loving yourself, your family, your people a little bit more than anybody else, because that's what the Most High did. He loved his people more than anybody. You know, we are more merciful to our enemies than we are to our own. You know,
Right.
we will let an enemy get away with anything from the fear of the power they have. Like, you know, you let white people get away with certain stuff because you don't want to be arrested. And then there's the fear that even if you don't let them get away with stuff, when you get arrested, are they going to try to take your life as well? You can't tell me you don't think about those things. Where as far as like with your own kinfolk, I mean, the worst you probably fear is death, and some of you probably hoping that happened because you're so sick of this hell we live in now.
Right.
You know, but the key is not destruction to each other. The key is destruction to the connection of our oppressors. We don't need them. Well, we just, I guess, as a slave, feel more safer to be connected to them. We don't need them. We don't. You fighting over governments, these voting polls, time and time again, they're going to show you they don't give a damn. But time and time again, you can show them that you don't need them. I mean, come on. The Hispanics, our Hispanics brothers and sisters, they are great at farming. Fruit stands and all that, they are great at farming. So black folks don't like farming. There's no interest in that in our community, but the Hispanics don't mind getting down with that. So we unite with our Hispanic brothers and sisters and let them handle that. And then we focus on the other stuff like clothes and stuff, because that's what we get the most praise for. Everybody love hip hop. You know, that's our thing. So, you know, with clothes and jewelry, what's hot and everything, if we combine our power and make our economic strong within our circle, our blood, we be doing all right. That's heaven right there.
Right.
Keep that in mind.
So let me get go ahead and get Deuteronomy 7:7 for
me. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 7. The Lord did not set his love upon you, nor choose you, because ye were more in number than any people, for ye were the fewest of all people.
Right. So we were the fewest of all people. You know what I'm saying? The Lord said he didn't love us because we were just so, you know, we had a million people or something, you know, we populate like rabbits. You know what I'm saying? The Lord loved us because we're just because of our whole style, our whole swag. We just different from other nations. You know what I'm saying? The Lord loves us because we're peculiar people. He finds us very interesting. You know what I'm saying? So it wasn't because we were just so great in number, or, you know, we had this or we had this many people. It's because of who we are and how we behave. All right, keep going.
Verse 8. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers, hath the Lord brought you out with a mighty hand, and redeemed you out of the house of bondmen, from the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt.
Right. So actually read that one more time.
Verse 8, the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 8. But because the Lord loved you, and because he would keep the oath which he had sworn unto your fathers.
Right. So the Lord, he made an oath with our fathers, you know what I'm saying? With our ancestors, he made a promise, a covenant, a deal, you know what I'm saying? With our ancestors that he would keep his end of the deal, and having us become above all people. You know what I'm saying? That was the Lord's deal, that he would always stay with us. That, you know what I'm saying, the Lord will always keep his side of the deal. You know what I'm saying? It's just us who You know, we're always a little bit of hard-headed, you know what I'm saying? So it takes a you know, a lot of persuasion for us to keep our side of the deal, because we so busy trying to love other nations instead of loving, you know, the Lord who brought us out of slavery, who brought us out of captivity.
On that, you have the Most High, a man who's been honorable with his word, and then you have us, who we consider his people and love us more than anything, constantly disobeying, turning our back on him. So think about how he feels.
Right.
And then think about how you feel when you get that on this in this hell. When you giving your everything, your promises, your action, you really loved hard, or really gave somebody your effort to be true to them, and they spat in your face, betrayed you.
Right.
You're angry, you're disappointed, as some of you are depressed and down about it. The Most High feels the exact same way. When you try to convince the whole world that you are a woman when clearly you was born as a man, because you can't accept who you're supposed to be, and the Most High appointed you to be that. Come on, how you think that feels? How? It's not a great feeling.
And Salakia, like the Lord feels like we turn traitor on him. Like how the scriptures say we're rebellious people. We're stiff-necked. You know what I'm saying? The Lord feels like he's been betrayed, you know, because he considered us his people. You know what I'm saying? The creator of everything feels as though we're like him. We're his people. And we just turn our back on him. So, and love everybody else.
Salakia. So with everything we just said, the question on if we are the Lord's chosen people, why we at the bottom? Why we living through this hell? That's your answer, because we ain't did right to the Most High. We want the Most High to do everything and give us everything and just make us this happy little oblivious child, and that, la 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 la. I'm happy on this world, but we don't want to hold our end of the bargain. It's like a parent with a child. You want candy, you want video games, you want all these, the trips to Disney World,
Right.
You want all these things, but you can't do what you're supposed to do at the house. You don't clean up. You don't hold good manners and represent me well when I set you out my house. You don't say yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, sir. You just bad. You don't make A's on your test.
Right.
You're not doing anything you're supposed to do, but you want all these rewards. So that's us right there.
And it's like, it's, you know, that's a good analogy, because like it's like we're immature. You know, we have everything. It's just that we're just unwilling to do. You know, we're unwilling to actually mature. That's why we got to go through all the slaveries and hardships of becoming an adult, a mature person, a mature nation. You know what I'm saying? That's what the you know, the wisdom is for. Is to get us to act a certain way, to be a certain way. That's what the laws are for, the Torah. You know what I'm saying? To have us behave like grown folks, like grown adults, to be a mature and wise nation. You know what I'm saying? That way all the other nations would see us and follow suit.
It's like, if I may on that.
Go ahead.
Like we just constantly, but we hitting some good points. They see it even when we're not doing it to our full potential. They recognize it. Man, something about these people, the way they carry themselves, yada yada. It says it in this Bible. Like a lot of times it's like, man, it's something about them, man. And they watch us. And then when we not even at our fullest potential, they constantly watching us. You know, man, it's something about the way they wear their clothes and this and that. And your enemies know your history more than you do. Because if you take your black ass to China, they're gonna shake they're gonna do whatever they need to do to get business out of you. But once they done with business, they're shaking their heads because it's like, man, they just don't know. They was a great nation.
Right.
They just don't know. Everybody know we was a great nation, but us. And when we try to tell our people that, is I guess we're so depressed from our punishment that we don't want to lift our heads and really understand what's going on. But it's true. We are great people.
Right.
Everybody wants to be like us. People envy us because they want the Most High's love and attention the way we can earn it and get to in full effect. We can't be, we can't be, we can't be, I'm trying to find the word without cussing. There's no competition to us when we're doing right.
Right.
You can't match us when we're doing everything we're supposed to do. You can't touch us. You just can't, because the Most High will not allow it.
Right. Like how the scriptures say we're supposed to be above all people. You know what I'm saying? That's what we were made to be. Like that's just how we naturally are, to be above everybody else on the planet. You know, it's just us struggling with the Most High and struggling with each other. Like for some reason, you know what I'm saying, we just want to do our own thing and be at the bottom and do, you know, be an individual and do what other nations do.
Like it, if I may.
Go ahead.
I don't even really think it's struggle with the Most High. It's just struggle with our own desires.
Right.
You know, because the Most High don't have to be bothered with us at all. He don't. But he still shows mercy. So it ain't struggling with him. It's with our own desires. We can't see past what we want. And what we want is just irrelevant. And it's hard for a lot of us to accept that. What we want is irrelevant.
That's right.
You know, you wanting to be a millionaire in this slavery does not compare or have nothing to do with you being a ruler on that day when the Most High returns. Like your yacht, if you get fortunate to get that far, your yacht, it will be worthless compared to a kingdom just decorated with gold and all kind of different elements that you probably don't even know exist. I mean, let's think about this, man. You know, for the ladies, your Gucci and your Lamborghini or whatever car you fiending for right now is nothing compared to a husband that's was put into the furnace of affliction and came out as fine gold and can rule this world with his brothers and have more riches than you can think of. You know, what we want is irrelevant.
Right.
But you can't, the thing about accepting this is you have to humble yourself. And a lot of us don't want to humble ourselves because we either afraid of being too humble, which you don't have to be just soft and naive, but we're afraid to be too humble because if you're too humble or you get caught slipping, you know, it's your fault because you just didn't have your guards up. But don't be naive. But either you're afraid of being too humble or you just don't know how to be humble because you're too selfish and too spoiled. That's just the end of it. Either way, it's not good. You have to humble yourself and accept the fact that at some point you was wrong. There was punishment. You just dealing with the repercussions.
That's a lot, yeah. And that's what going through, you know, that's why we've been in slavery. It's a humbling experience. That's what slavery is. It's being Man, slavery is getting so far down. It's going lower than just, thinking on survival. You're not even really trying to survive on your own. You're trying to you got to go to somebody else to survive. It's deeper than just survival tactics. Go ahead.
Like I said, we just keep hitting great points. The thing about slavery is, see, here's the difference about today's slavery and the slavery we know of. Going to prison, you're doing that by yourself. And with that, you should be able to understand the examples we just gave not too long ago. When that judge hit the gavel, for those who have been to prison, when that judge hit that gavel, you have then, and I think Meek Mill said it best, you went from being a king to a slave, and you have to serve your time. But when with the slavery that we know of, we went into that as a family. Right. So it wasn't just you, it was everybody.
Right.
And the goal was to come out of that with your brothers and sisters, with everybody. And we fight each other so hard, it's tough to get out of that bondage together. But we gonna have to do it in order to see the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
You know, Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans must unite. It is prophesied. It's going to happen. But why wait? Let's get it over with.
Right. So if you could read that next verse for me.
God, I don't want to come. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 9. Know therefore that the Lord thy God, he is God, the faithful God,
right,
which keepeth his covenant and mercy with them that love him and keep his commandments to 1,000 generations.
Right. So it's the Lord God. There's only one God, and that's the God of the Bible. That's the God of Israel. You know what I'm saying? He's faithful. He's going to keep his side of the bargain. He's going to keep his side of the deal. You know what I'm saying? So it's, you don't have to worry, if you do the commandments, you know what I'm saying? Is the Lord going to do his side? Of course he's going to do his side. He's a righteous God. He is the Lord. All it's up for us to do is to come back to him. It's to do what he says, do the commandments. You know what I'm saying? Love one another. You know what I'm saying? Love God. You know what I'm saying? That's all, you know what I'm saying? Of course there's 613 commandments, do them, you know what I'm saying? But do them. You know what I'm saying? That's how we're going to win the Lord's favor, because the Lord's going to keep his side of the bargain. Go ahead.
It's lucky, if I may, because sometimes when you say big numbers like that, niggas get scared. They so simple that they all kind of are combined into each other,
right?
Where it may not seem like it's 613 laws, statutes, and commandments, but I mean, it is. But they so simple, and it's essential to not only just doing right by somebody else and doing right by the Most High, but they also are good, literally good for your health. Like the most simplest one that could help you from getting all those diseases. Stop eating pork.
Right.
Stop. Brotherhood. Hey, for example, hey man, I just want to let you know you're my brother, care about you. So I gotta let you know up front. Yo, check your wife. She ain't right. She made a pass at me. It looked nice.
Damn.
But nah, man, you're my brother. I can't do that to you. Man, even if you did that with somebody you don't like, that goes a long way. A brother you don't get along with, you just want to get back at him and everything. If you went to that brother and said, hey, man, I know we got our differences, but I just need you to know that, man, your girl, she ain't right, man. She made a pass at me, and I don't believe in messing with another brother's woman. I mean, do you think he gonna stay an enemy when you was respectful to his household like that? I don't think so. I think that builds a better brotherhood and a stronger allegiance. And if everybody had that same, code of ethics in their blood, we could go a long way.
Right.
Or even if he don't start chilling with you, being cool with you, he will forever respect you. And he will talk about you. Like, man, I with this particular brother, but I gotta give him his props. He a respectful, cool ass dude because, like, man, he could have hit my gap, and he chose not to. And he not only chose not to, he told me about it. Stealing, we don't gotta steal from each other. Action you shall receive. Yeah, some brothers and sisters not gonna give it to you, not because they don't want to, but simply because they not in a position to give it to you. But I mean, you don't have to steal from anybody, but most certainly your kinfolk, your family, according to the flesh. Blood according to the flesh, you ain't got to steal from them.
Right.
Like
Salaki, like what you said, there aren't, it seems like a lot of stuff to do. 613, man. Whew. But it's really not. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're out here, the white man's world, in the oppressor's world, obeying thousands of his laws and whatnot. And 613, it really isn't that much. It really isn't. It just seems like a lot, because your flesh is telling you it's a lot.
Right.
And really Christ, he in a sense boiled it down to just two. Loving the Lord with all your heart and loving one another. What I'm saying? If you can get those two down, those are the greatest commandments. You can get them two down, the other commands are going to be easy.
Right.
I'm saying? Very easy. So it's not even really about how many. It's really about, are you willing to do any?
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Because Salakia.
Go ahead.
Salakia, if I may, because as much as a lot of you don't want to admit, a lot of you go harder just to try to get somebody's attention.
Right.
That ain't even worth getting.
Right.
So, 600 plus laws to help you make it out of this hell is nothing compared to years of regrets trying to impress or love or be loyal to somebody who does not give a damn about you.
Right.
It just ain't. Some of you right now, if you're watching this class, can think of somebody you tried so hard to please and you did not get that same energy back.
Right.
And it's okay, because with that being said, you take that feeling and that memory and apply it to the Most High.
Damn right.
I've given you everything, and I didn't get that same energy back. So he knows my heart. Your heart don't mean nothing. It changes every day, like socks. For real. You like blue today, you like red tomorrow. I think you were trying to say something like that.
Oh no, go ahead and read the next verse.
Verse 10, and repayeth them that hate him to their face.
Right. So the Lord, you know what I'm saying? You're either on the Lord's side or you're not. And if you're not on the Lord's side, you're not doing what he says. You know what I'm saying? Because like how we had said before, the Lord's going to keep his side of the deal. You do what he says, you do the commandments and the laws, you know what I'm saying? He's going to reward you. You're going to get the blessings. know what I'm saying? But those that hate him or are just unwilling to do to love each other, I mean, that's the second greatest commandment, is to love your brother. You can't love the person who looks like you. Lord said he's going to repay them people. You know what I'm saying? Them Uncle Toms. You're going to be repaid, and you're going to be repaid with fire. You know what I'm saying? You're going to die and burn with America because you just refuse to love the man or sister who looks like you. And do you know how childish and weak that is? Go ahead.
You know how much energy that takes.
Right.
It is literally at least maybe 4 black anchors. I'll digress to say 3, but at least 4 black anchors who are so headstrong about saying they see the most black damage done by black people. They don't want to give their oppressors none of the credit. I mean, the government, police, they don't want to give it to none of them. They just doing their job. Most of the damage done to black folks was done by black folks, and they stand behind that truth. And that is a lie. There is a such thing as accountability in which we must take. Yes, because we have hurt each other. But everybody likes to whine about the crab in the barrel, little metaphor. You know, everybody like to whine about the crabs in the barrel, but not too many times do you have somebody ask the question, who put them in the barrel? Crabs don't belong in the barrel, they belong in the ocean. So, I mean, when you think about crabs in the barrel, who put them in the barrel? Who told them they belong in the barrel? And it's a lot of our own people who just don't understand that. You know, you have to be conditioned for that. They say this is an extreme, but when somebody has been in a house full of drugs and rape, rob, and murder as a child, and then they're all of a sudden pushed out for so long, and then all of a sudden they're forced to be pushed out of their house and create a life of their own, what do you think they go to? They go to what they know. So take that with the government, which with our oppressors, slavery, low income jobs, if you get a job at all, harassment, getting beat, always being without, stealing, robbing, murdering, killing. Who did we get it from? I am a great American. No, you are not. You was born in this country, but that is not your bloodline. Nobody's bloodline really is America.
So like we get all of our negative traits from our oppressors.
Right.
All of them. You know what I'm saying? When, you know what I'm saying, back when we were in Africa, you know what I'm saying, we behave like the Africans. The Haitians are known for behaving like Africans with the voodoo and all that. You know what I'm saying? And then over here in America, we try to be like Massa. We try to be like white folks. We start straightening our hair just so we look comfortable. What's it called? You know, how they acceptable, you know,
prestige,
right,
elegant.
So, you know, all of our negative attributes were from our oppressors. Like, we shouldn't be so fearful because the Lord never made us to have fear in the first place. You know what I'm saying? Like, us as a people, you know, we were supposed to love each other, man. And within loving each other comes a great strength. You know what I'm saying? That's why we say brotherhood is a weapon. It's literally a weapon against anybody who comes and opposes us. That's what that weapon is. That's when the time that weapon should be used.
Salakia, how can you hate something that reflects you
Right.
when you love it and hold truth to it so dear?
Real talk.
You know what I'm saying? You know, who told us it was bad to have kinky hair? Because of our kinky hair, we can do all kind of different styles.
Right.
If our hair was so straight, so limp and straight, we would not be able to do half the cool styles that you see out there today. A lot of you sisters like them twists that look like dreads, but they not dreads. You can't do that with straight hair. You can't. You have to do something to make that straight hair. And I think they just sew their hair in.
Mm.
White women are starting to sew in hair now. And then how can you hate yourselves when everybody is dying trying to look so hard like you? No matter what race they are, gay people are imitating the black woman. No matter what race they are, everybody is trying to get a big ass. Who has that? Blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans.
Right.
Full lips, black women. All the Botox and surgeries and all that. Who are they trying to look like? Because before we was really accepted, the look was the thin, pale white girl on the walkway.
Right.
And then somewhere along the way, that changed. What changed? Master started looking at his black slave woman a little bit more. The white woman's, oh hell, I got competition.
Right.
And you know, although she would try to get with the black man, she still wanted the white man's attention. So what she started doing, hurting herself to replicate the black woman. No white person like to look white no more. They always getting tans, and you know, we have an orange president.
Right.
Who is that replicating? Although ain't never one of us orange. So love yourselves.
Right.
Love the people that look like you. Love each other. Be a reflection of the Most High, so the kingdom can be down here already.
And really, like, just to go off what you had said, like, really, you know what I'm saying, like how white women want to look like black women. You know what I'm saying? That's why they start behaving just like our sisters, man. Like Miley Cyrus, she started twerking, and then now twerking such a big thing now. You know what I'm saying? After she did it, now, you know, right, you know what I'm saying? Now all, you know, twerking is just awesome now. You know what I'm saying? Strip clubs, black strip clubs been doing the shit. You know what I'm saying? Now Miley Cyrus doing it now is nationwide, worldwide. You know what I'm saying? That's just, you know, one example. You know what I'm saying? Like,
one example out of many.
right. And even when it comes down to our culture, you know, our music, you know, jazz is damn near, you know what I'm saying, it's being taken over, you know, by what, you know, our oppressors. You know, so is blues, you know, rap also. You know what I'm saying? You got your Macklemores and your Machine Gun Kellys.
But Salakia, the two things they can't replicate, however, is the love from the Most High and your bloodline.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, that bloodline gives you some magnificent genes to where you can be, I'll give it a high number because I've seen it. You can be 80 and look like you're only 50.
Right.
White women are 80 and they either look 80 or beyond.
Or the Crypt Keeper.
Man, popping out of coffins and everything.
Real
like,
tough.
Man, like my best friend, and what's funny was I heard it from people in the school and outside the school. White people age like bananas.
Damn. They turn black.
Oh no. That middle stage where you got the little white specks and get all shriveled and it shrinks. So fragile. You pick it up, it fall apart.
Damn.
However, us, I mean, you know, we get there, but it takes a minute. Takes a while.
Right.
you know. And we still, you know, some of us, if we taking care of ourselves, we still get out there, dance with the young folks and everything.
Right.
And, you know, we've been so hell-bent on not loving ourselves, destroying ourselves, and being so wicked and trying to live too, as we like to say, too grown, too fast. I am 30. Hate to put it out there, but I'm 30. There are women who are 22 look older than me. Think about that. Go ahead.
So like you said, that's why a lot of older Edomites, they get younger women, because once Edomite women get past the age of 25, they look.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Once them young Edomite women get past 25,
They start looking 50.
You know what I'm saying? And then let the Botox and surgeries commence. Tummy tucks, all that.
And really, them old Edomites, man, when they get old, man, they look like Smeagol, man.
And if they don't, it was some work done.
Like really, they literally end up looking like Smeagol. Like literally, like a cave demon. Punched over and skin just dragging across the floor. They just look weird.
That's like I said, if they don't, surgery has been done. Breast reduction or breast implants, facelift, Botox,
Right.
tummy tuck, like
you name it.
Name it. That is surgical.
Right.
That is not jeans. But however, the black woman, it be jeans. Now it may not be as tight because it's not surgical and every area wasn't, placed, but there are areas that let you know it's natural, like stretch marks, because of Edomites, black women hated stretch marks and cellulites the longest. And that's one of the most beautiful things on a woman. That lets you know it's natural. It's real. That lets you know at one point in time she was small, got big, and once upon a time she was big, got small. All it means. Something stretched or got unstretched. Calm down, sir. Oh, we love our women.
Right.
Yes. All right, now I gotta calm down.
Go ahead and read that next scripture for me.
Verse 10. I think I read that.
Yeah, go ahead and reread it.
Reread it.
Go
Women distractions. Verse 10. And repayeth them that hate him to their face, to destroy them.
Right.
He will not be slack to him that hateth him. He will repay him to his face.
Right. The Lord's not going to be slack, man. You're going to get, when you turn against the Lord, you're going to get your judgment. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody wants a traitorous nigga walking around, man. You know what I'm saying? Somebody who's turned traitor, they're gonna turn on you. You know what I'm saying? They're going to mess up your whole plan, your whole nation. Nobody wants any kind of traitor around them. All right, keep going.
Verse 11. Thou shalt therefore keep the commandments.
Right. So thou shalt therefore keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? Unless you want to be destroyed, then shit, go right ahead. Salaki. Go right ahead and do wickedness against the Lord if you just want to be destroyed. If you just can't love the person who looks like you. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? Therefore, just keep the commandments. You know what I'm saying? Those brothers or sisters who are righteous, just keep the commandments. You're going to be all right. You will have the protection of the Lord. Keep going.
And the statutes and the judgments,
right,
which I command thee this day to do them.
Right, to do them. Do all the laws. Do all the commandments. Don't leave out one. Don't just be like, well, I put my fringes on. But that pork looking real good. That pork chop sandwich, man. With some cheese and some mustard, man. Ooh wee. No. Do all the commandments. Go ahead.
Do. It says to do them. It didn't say do what you can, not what you feel. You know, not that, hey, you know, I know your heart. So if you just put in a little bit of work, you know, call it even. Oh, it just says do them.
Right.
You know, so all that other stuff, they not hard, man.
And Salaki, if I could, you know, when you put it like that, yeah, I just do some of them, we call it even. That's being lukewarm. You know what I'm saying? And the Lord said you either cold or you're hot. So you can't just be like, yeah, you know, I put the fringes on, but that crawfish boy looking real good. You know, you lukewarm, man. Like you're not trying to go, you really not trying to do what the Lord say. Go ahead.
With what you just said, that kind of, for me, that goes with like some topics on social media, which y'all need to stop putting all your business out there. But you know, y'all don't like lukewarm people in the bed. Y'all won't. It's got to be hot. Y'all don't even want to accept cold, lukewarm. It's got to be hot because, unfortunately, y'all want to give somebody talk. Y'all want somebody to give you something to go talk about. Man, let me tell you. So it's the same scenario with everything. You know, you don't want a lukewarm pizza.
Right.
You don't want lukewarm water.
Right.
You don't want lukewarm sex. You don't want to lukewarm behavior.
Right.
You don't want lukewarm friendship. You don't want to live your whole life like meh, you know.
Real tough,
And
man.
so the Most High don't want us being lukewarm with Him. He want to be like, he want to talk with the angels like, man, my children, that man, shoot,
Right.
better watch it, boy. You shit, they, whew,
They're my people.
boy, my people.
That's how the Lord wants us to be. He wants us to be passionate for serving Him. You know what I'm saying? Passionate about building this nation. I mean, that's all it really is. I mean, and really that just comes down to loving each other. I mean, every time, really.
It's like, even in, and you know, I don't care about your pastors, but even in y'all churches, y'all don't want a lukewarm pastor. Y'all want the dude that go all out. Y'all want the dude who got examples and see. Let me tell you something.
The organ and the singer and dancing.
Oh, hi.
Right.
Y'all want all the works. Y'all want to show. So I mean, come on, man.
Right.
It's common. It's common sense.
Right. So go ahead, give me the next scripture. Where we at? Tell them where we
We're
at.
on 12 now.
Go ahead, tell them where we at.
This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, now reading verse 12. Wherefore it shall come to pass, if ye hearken to these judgments, and keep and do them, that the Lord thy God shall keep unto thee the covenant and the mercy which he sware unto thy fathers.
Right. The Lord said He's going to keep His side of the deal if you just come back to Him, if you just do the commandments. That's what the Lord said. You know what I'm saying? If you come back to the Lord, you know what I'm saying? Let's say you did some wickedness. You know what I'm saying? We all did stuff in the world. You know what I'm saying? But eventually we found who we were. You know what I'm saying? We found out we were Israelites. You know what I'm saying? Then we did our history on the matter. Then we found out there's really only one camp. You know what I'm saying? Most High in Christ for the I.S.U.P.K. You know what I'm saying? Then we took initiative and started doing for our people. Got into that one body and started building. You know what I'm saying? And in doing that, the Lord's going to remember you. You know what I'm saying? When it's time for judgment at the end, Christ is gonna be like, nah, man, that brother, he he joined the one body. He was actually putting in a lot of work. That's why he ended up being 50, officer of 50. That's why he ended up getting his name and being a trooper, or so on and so forth. You know, that brother actually did work in his nation and actually kept the commandments. And the Lord's going to be like, all right, give that brother a crown. That's what's going to happen, man. And Christ is going to, you know, set that crown on top of your head, and you're going to be part of the elect. You know, so it's, you know what I'm saying, the Lord, he's going to keep his side of the deal. All you got to do is keep your side of the deal. You know what I'm saying?
It's like it benefits you either way it goes.
Right.
You know, for the men, not lusting for whores, it's going to save you a lot of trouble. It's going to save you a lot of trouble. If you quit lusting for women who, at the end of the day, really just want to not just be with you, but multiple men, and just really only love you if only you have money, and when you don't have money, I don't know. That's that lukewarm behavior we was talking about. You want somebody all in. You know what's so funny about these marriages in these churches? They don't really pay attention to words, because it say for better or worse, rich or poor. And today's society is so focused on the bag that if you don't have money, you are going to be treated less than righteous, less than worthy. You're not even worthy. And when things get worse, people can't stand the heat. They gotta go. It's uncomfortable,
Right.
you know. And what's so funny is the same people that bail every time things get uncomfortable. They're the ones that liking all the videos on social network that's saying you're not supposed to be comfortable in life, because if you're comfortable, you're not growing.
That's a lot. Like that just reminds me of us as a people. Like even when it was comfortable, we still ended up rebellion. Like it's still like, you know what I'm saying? That's why the Lord said he only want 144,000, because the other, you know, millions and billions of, you know, blacks, Hispanics, and Native Americans, they just can't do it. You know what I'm saying? 144,000 out of the totality of all the 12 tribes that's on the earth right now, man, 144,000 is like 0.001%.
Salakia.
It's such a low number.
But Salakia,
Go ahead.
we so brotherly and righteous that our hopes is still that all of Israel
Oh yeah, that's the hope.
get in there.
Right.
Like even when there's a set number, we still have hopes that everybody just get on point.
Right.
That's how brotherly we are. And us being brotherly like that, that's how you know the kingdom is gonna be what's up. Because even when you don't deserve mercy, you're getting it. And when the righteous are in charge, everything is great. Everybody's happy, even the ones who's supposed to be at the bottom, because it's all cool. I don't have no billions of dollars in the vault, but me being the person I am today, if I did, every blue moon on the low without nobody seeing me, I would drop off a meal at poor houses, at poor people's houses.
Right.
On the low, I would take a bucket car so it won't look too suspicious. Wait till nighttime, do something like that.
Right.
That's the kingdom right there, man. Like looking out for my people. But everybody ain't got that spirit up in them.
Right.
You know, but our hopes is that one day everybody gets shooken up to having that spirit.
And Salaki. That's going to happen. All of Israel will be saved, but through regeneration, because the elect are going to have to teach the kids they bring forth the way, you know, like how I said, train up a child. We have to teach our children the way they should go. You know what I'm saying? So all of Israel, they're gonna be all right, kind of. You know, it's just that when you come into the kingdom, you want to either be the first or you want to be the ruling class. You know what I'm saying? If you come into this truth and you end up, you know, for whatever reason, the Lord, you pass from this life, you know what I'm saying, before the end comes, you know, just know that when you do come back, you'll be as the heir, you know, to you'll be the first son and you will get a crown, you know, because you stayed true. It just so happened that the Lord take you before the end come, you know. But of course, you know, that's not going to be all Israelites. You know, a lot of Israelites might be that 20th son, you know, or that 30th, you know, because we're going to have so many wives in the kingdom, you know. But you want to be the brother who gets the crown. That's who you want to be. Go ahead.
That's a lot of work that I'm looking forward to.
Real tough. That's the word we looking forward to. Because after we get in the kingdom, it's hard now. But after we get into the kingdom, it's oh happy day.
Climb in the feet.
Real. In every every which way. You know, so it's
man.
You know, it's you know, that's the kingdom of heaven, man. You know, it's going to be exactly what it is, heaven for us. It's gonna be like the Garden of Eden all over.
Right. It's lucky for you sisters that just not for that multiple women thing, get over it. Because when the kingdom come, we gonna be passing out babies to sisters like we were born from Oprah. You get a baby.
Right.
You get a baby.
You get a baby.
You get a baby.
Right, everybody gets a baby.
Oh man, for real.
That's how it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? You shouldn't hate the sisterhood. You should love the sister.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because you're gonna have a little warrior of your own.
It's about building the dynasty.
Real talk. It's about building the dynasty, the kingdom, the nation. However you want to, whatever synonym you want to use, man. That's what it's about. It's about your people, man.
Right.
It's about growing this place, growing this nation. All right. Give me the next scripture, man. The next verse.
And this is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 7, verse 13. And he will love thee and bless thee and multiply thee. He will also bless the fruit of thy womb and the fruit of thy land, thy corn and thy wine and thine oil, the increase of thy
Kin.
Increase of thy kin, Salakia, and the flocks of thy sheep, and the land which he sware unto thy fathers to give thee.
Right. So that's basically the blessings. Read what it say, and he will love thee. You know what I'm saying? If you do the commandments, he will love thee. You know what I'm saying? Because now you're a good child. You know what I'm saying? You're his good son, his good daughter. He's going to bless you in all the ways, whatever you put your hand to, he's going to bless you in it. You know what I'm saying? As a nation, you know what I'm saying, we know what the curses is like. We know not to have businesses, you know, not to have land or any kind of, you know, really any kind of military might or anything. We know what suffering is. We know what hell is. But the Lord said, if you do the commandments, he's going to show you mercy and he will remember his end of the deal and he's going to keep his end of the deal and you will be blessed. You know You know, all nations will see us and want to be just like us. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's how they are right today, but it's going to be in righteousness. The scriptures say even the trees will sing. And I ain't never heard a tree sing. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be some real supernatural stuff when we get into power.
Sound like Disney.
Right, real talk. The trees gonna be rocking back and forth, singing. And, you know what I'm saying? Like it's gonna be totally. It's gonna be
The lions gonna come together, sing "Circle of Life."
right. It's real talk. Right. You know what I'm saying? Everything's going to be. It really does. It like to be honest. It sound like damn near a Disney commercial or a Disney movie or something.
But Salakia, Most High in Christ, because Disney got it from us anyway.
Right. You know, so you know that's what it's gonna be, man. All we got to do is just like how Og brought out, also Mayash brought out earlier. The commandments aren't grievous. Nah, man. You know what I'm saying? Mayash Allah, who the Lord is. You know what I'm saying? My nigga right here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? The commandments are not grievous. You know, so it's just up to us to do it.
Right.
You know, the sooner the better. That way we can get up out this hill. All right, so give me anything you want to add. Give me the next verse.
This is verse 14. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or female barren among you or among your cattle.
Right. So everything's gonna be populating. You know what I'm saying? Everything's gonna be multiplying itself, which basically means everything's going to be abundant. We're going to have an abundance of gold, abundance of silver, abundance of jewels, and abundance of anything you can imagine. Fruit, like how I said, cattle. You know what I'm saying? Our livestock is going to be abundant. Everything will be abundant. Go ahead.
Happy feelings in the air.
Right, exactly. Abundance, an abundance of you know, good feelings, man. It's gonna be something. It's totally different. You know what I'm saying? Just think about it. Just like how every day you probably wake up and wish you were dead, it's just going to be the opposite in the kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Every day you'll be like, man, I'm happy to be alive. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be, and then you just gonna strike a Edomite with a whip. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be awesome.
This crown feels so good today.
Right.
And this whip gonna feel even better against your back.
Right. That's the kingdom of heaven. You know? So go ahead, give me, this is probably gonna be the last verse. Go ahead, give me the next verse.
Verse 14. Thou shalt be blessed above all people. There shall not be male or wait, I read that one already. So verse 15. Salaki.
No, you did. Hold on. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
So verse 15, Salaki. And the Lord will take away from thee all sickness and will put none of the evil diseases of Egypt, which thou knowest, upon thee, but will lay them upon all them that hate thee.
Right. So if we do all this, we're gonna be free of AIDS, free of that mental, you know how most of us
Dimension.
Yeah, just free of disease, man. You know, what's that one curse that stricken with mental like we're gonna be we're not gonna be, you know, out there anymore. Yeah, we're not gonna be mentally distraught. We're gonna be okay, basically. You know, everything's gonna go from negative to positive, while our enemies, you know, I'm saying this, you know, our oppressors, they're gonna go from positive to negative. You know, as a people rise, another people gotta go down. And our records show that when we rise, we are above all nations, which means all nations got to go down.
Slocky. In the beginning, around segregation, really around the 70s, it was mostly segregation, but around the 70s, especially because it was like serious talk, but with a little joke effect to it. They was like, man, don't be messing with white people. You're gonna get herpes, you're gonna get AIDS, you're gonna get HIV. Well, it's gonna be like that in the kingdom. Hey, first of all, you shouldn't be messing with nobody white. But if you lay down with them dogs, you're gonna catch some herpes. Lay down with a dog, catch fleas.
Right.
Don't do that.
Right. If you lay down with a dog, you're gonna catch fleas, man. If you get down with these other nations, you're gonna get burnt. You're gonna get caught up in that hellfire,
Right.
in that nuclear warfare, World War III, the third woe. You know what I'm saying? So just come back to your people, man. Love one another. You know what I'm saying? So with that, you know what I'm saying, I'm gonna end the class. Check out, we got a barbecue. It's going to be October 12th. You know, also we'll be celebrating the tabernacles, the feast of, I just had the damn holy convocations in my hand, man. You know what I'm saying? But it's going to be September 28th. And it's here we go. It's the Feast of Tabernacles. It's going to be October 12th. We also have the memorial of blowing of the trumpets. That's going to be Saturday on September 28th. And I hope to see, you know what I'm saying, whoever's watching, I hope to see y'all, you know what I'm saying, all my brothers and sisters at the barbecue, man. You know what I'm saying? So make sure you pay your tithes, pay your camp funds. And, you know what I'm saying, with that, you know what I'm saying, let's all stand. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, all right, so brothers, you know what I'm saying, Israel, you know what I'm saying, Hamajim Shabbat, Hamajim, Barak, Yahweh Shem Yahshua Barakatah. Sar, turn to the sisters. Hamajim Shabbat, Hamajim, Barak, Shalom, Yahweh Shema Ba'ashem Yahushai. And what's the word, man? I forgot. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, you know what I'm saying? Shalom to the brothers and sisters, man. I got that shit. Where's the goddamn